Oh, look out, Groovers. Good morning. Greetings from the Australian Controversial Drama Channel. First live ever on this channel. And sadly, it's a drive to work on a Monday live. But hey, why not? I was like, I wonder if I can actually go live on this channel yet. And here we are. Be interesting to see if anyone joins me. I mean, I hope somebody does. It's only a tiny, tiny channel. But it's a little beauty of a channel. Hey, Cement Shoes, yay! I've made it onto the algorithm. First live ever from this channel. Good way to start Monday, because Monday is not usually a favourite day of mine. I am the typical Monday itis person. Right, I've got my coffee. I've got some lip balm. I've got my work computer. I've got my lunch. I'm good to go. Well, you did, though. I mean, I wish you hadn't missed it either. It's actually a good live. It still went for 2 hours. Just seems insanely indulgent to me. So, I might have to get in the habit of just doing like little 1 hour lives, because I've been editing some old lives to bring over to this channel, just to tidy up all the channels, get them all, sticking to their themes. And it took me like 2 days to edit the one when I reacted to the chat and comments in the Glarers live. And I mean, I don't have 2 days. It never has, Cement Shoes. That's a YouTube thing. Never has. It can often be 24 hours later. It's usually within 12 hours of the live, but that's a YouTube thing. It's never, ever, ever, ever been an instant thing. It doesn't matter how big or small your channel is either. It doesn't. Oh, look at that cute little caravan. I love the little old retro caravans. Emily, hello. I did a live last night, gorgeous, on the mushroom story, and over on Tori and the Law of Crime and Cooking, and I did a review of your buddy Paul on the sofa. I really like him. I mean, he still had the melodramatic shit going on, but he was crediting all the crappy sources, and he was pointing out that he was referring to articles and information from tabloid websites and like that. And he was saying, just bear in mind, this shit's come out of the Sunday Mail. But I actually used him to compare him to Stephanie Harlow, who was very much like Grizzly and just taking her entire lot of supporters and subscribers down the guilty as charged. Oh, but wait, Erin hasn't been charged yet. Theatrical. Fabulous. But I just sticking to the facts, but also having a bit of fun with some of the tabloid gossip, but pointing out it was tabloid gossip. Whereas Stephanie Harlow, like Grizzly, I mean, I've got every fact that's been verified on a piece of paper. Well, it's not. It's actually on a Word document. And I've got as many quotes as I could possibly get from Erin's statement. And I'm super conservative in that respect. I the sting, personally. I think every single case on YouTube gets so clouded by tabloids and, oh, you're going to meet him at CrimeCon. Awesome, Emily. When is it? Is it next month? Is it October? But yeah, I mean, he's very thorough, but I just good on him for crediting the sources. literally driving along the other day with Stephanie Harlow on, going, "That's not verified, verified, not verified, it's not being verified." It was never ending. And Grizzly is the same. Oh yeah, he's a good egg. I think he probably scored a few more. I'd subscribed to him, but I don't know why I wasn't getting notifications and stuff. So I did the unsubscribe because yeah, if I want a fun, lively, not too shouty, but not too slow, just a good, and you know his editing's great. I mean, his video went for like an hour, whereas Stephanie's went for 2. Oh yeah, I've got to wish you a happy birthday in advance too, because Scout, it was her birthday on the 31st, and it's also one of my best friend's birthdays. And I think probably the worst day of my life. And I'm not being melodramatic, it genuinely was. And I'm still pretty fragile today. Like I've got a lot of work to do to process everything that happened last week. So thank God. And then I sent her a message or something for it, and it completely fucked up the following days. Like I made an agreement with myself to get really busy on the weekend, so I wouldn't be just moping around the house. But it's still sort of hanging over me like a cloud. But it's all am I okay? And it's all going to last night and even this morning is strategic because I think I'm better to be kept busy and I get, I get a good feeling from following of those things that some days it is so buggered to do anything, but I'm finding the energy to do it, or I'm saving a tiny bit of energy to do it. There's always something good going on as well. No more sorries. This is why it's hard on, and see, they're now not even talking. This channel is the Karma channel. It's really hard because I mean I appreciate you both saying sorry, but please don't say sorry. Like it's fine, it's life. It's nothing to be sorry about. I'm trying to get myself in a happy mood to get to work. So if either of you say sorry, you've got to time each other out if you can. But yeah, I want to try to stick. The whole point of these channels too, and this isn't for you guys, this is for Tori. I want to keep the channels to the themes. I've deliberately, I thought I'm moving all my crime stuff from both of my other channels over here. Yeah, sorry, no, I'm Tori in the Law of Crime and Cooking. I'm moving all the parodies and talking about other creators and that stuff. That's all to go over here. Well, you shouldn't be, Emily. That's empathy. Yeah, so I'm trying to get the channels, because what was happening, I mean, I don't actually have any drama to talk about. I just wanted to see if I could go live on this channel, over this live. I guess it helps too if But I was like, I want to chat about my morning here and what everyone's up to around the world. And people were just coming to chat without even saying hi. Oh, what do you think about Brian Koberger waiving his right to a speedy trial? And I'm like, what do you think people that are following this channel about Tasmania, do you think they give a fuck about that? No. I don't have many mods in here. I think it's just you, Emily, and SRB. Cement's a mod on. You're a mod on Law, Crime and Cooking, aren't you, Cement? You could fake a fight with me. I mean, it's lovely. You two of my favourite people. Don't tell anyone else, though. But it's true. But if somebody else joins us, just don't be like, we're Tori's favourites. Well, yeah, I mean, you're some of. There are some other favourites too. But yeah, and then I'd go live cooking, and people would want to check goes everywhere. And so to keep my head organised, I'm like, create these channels, stick to the themes, and away we go. But man, it's hard. But I'm also teaching myself discipline. Like, if I'm in, funny enough, Smote is in my child-free community I started on Facebook. God, I can't even remember now when it started. I need to have a look at its birthday. But it's got over 15,000 members. But when we kick members out, we smote them. We have been smoting since, I don't know, 2003 or whatever. But I like the English language like Cement does, and smote is a great word. So, yes, smote each other. We have got great people in this community, for sure. Is there any shit going on YouTube I have missed? Because I have been very good at not getting distracted by shit on YouTube. However, this channel is going to be very much the home of calling out the shit on YouTube. So, you know, if there's ever any massive drama, you've got to let me know, because I'll check it out. Unless it's doing the dishes with Dave. But yeah, I've got to be a bit better too. Like, I've got to moderate myself better. So if I'm live talking about making an apple pie and somebody comes into chat wanting to know how I feel about Brian Koberger, I've got to ignore that comment. I'm so easily distracted because I want to do everything and play with everyone and talk to everyone. But, and you know, I don't want mods to have to get to a point where they have to put in chat, please, you know, stick to the topic, because sometimes my lives are erratic and crazy and all over the place. But I think if I'm covering a case on my crime channel and there are people in chat asking me about a completely different crime, I think it'll be perfectly appropriate for mods to say, send Tori an email if you wanted to discuss that. Because it's just so odd. And it's not people that come in and go, hey, how you doing? And have a little chat with you first. They come in without even saying hi to the chat or the creator, or whatever you want to call us, the YouTube channel person. And they just fire a question about something completely unrelated to what everyone else is chatting about. Imagine rocking up to somebody's house and doing that, or work, or, you know, imagine if that's your personality type, that you are just constantly ignoring everyone else around you and what they're talking about, and it's all about you and what you want to know. I mean, I wouldn't have any of those sorts of people's phone numbers in my phone. I don't want them in my life. Ziggy has an $1,100 electric bill, and she was dry begging. Ah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? The beggars of YouTube. Is that Sav? Hello, gorgeous. And we do get a chit chat in the car park if you're still with me in about half an hour when we arrive in Beijing. We're going to Beijing this morning. We're about to go over Scout Inquirer's favourite causeway. Apologies, Scout, that I didn't message you on your actual birthday, but you got an early message and a late one. That's good for something. But this is the Scout Inquirer, I nearly said Memorial Causeway. The Scout Inquirer Causeway of Love. Doing good, Sav. How are you? It's the first time I've gone live on this channel, and I'm a bit excited. And I thought, it's Monday morning, and Monday mornings are shit. Who enjoys going to work on a Monday morning? Like, yes, I have this amazing view. I am incredibly grateful. It's a gorgeous drive to work. But it's still Monday morning. And I'd still like another day of a weekend, you know. It's a very, very exciting thing. So you're having your first coffee for the day? I have my second coffee in the car with me. Oh, so Ziggy and the e-begging or the dry begging. What's the difference between sad fishing, dry begging, and e-begging? Like, I don't know. And I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, it's a tricky one because I want a 4-day weekend too. They go too fast. They're not, the way the working world is these days, they're not enough time to recover. Like, you need to have your me time. You need to clean your house. You need to catch up with family and friends. You need to potter in the garden. You need to go shopping. You need to cook. You basically need to spend your weekend getting everything ready so that the next week at work isn't too gross. Like, you don't have to get home and vacuum at 11 o'clock at night. You're in Sydney. How's Sydney this morning? I mean, it's a beautiful day here in Beijing. Yes, in Tasmania today we are heading to a top of 21 degrees. Woohoo! Which is kind of like 25 on the mainland because our sun is nasty. Our sun is bitey. But it's spring is here for sure. Second causeway of love. This is actually called McGee's Bridge, but I used to call it Truthy Magoo's Bridge. Wasn't that a thing at the time? Truthy Magoo. All the shit we've seen. I've been here for 5 years and I've seen more than five. I'm now heading into my 6th year of doing lives and stuff. I mean, prior to the Chris Watts case, YouTube was where I went for music, do-it-yourself videos, and funny cat videos. But in terms of participating as an active YouTuber, I'm heading into my 6th year now. Oh, you got a 30-degree day. We Aussies don't get how the US treats people in chat. Oh, what do you mean, Sav? Like the derailers? Or as I like to call them, the barger-innerers? And don't get me wrong, there's a few Aussies that are bloody good at derailing too. It's such a quirky platform. Like my Facebook group has pretty old-fashioned values and rules. Like we've got things like be nice to each other, and um, that's more important. Like any topic is open for discussion, and we encourage lively debate. I do know the history down to gorgeous Rosie. I still put her on because I just love listening to her pottering around and doing stuff. And she says hello to everyone, and she's just, yeah, she's good value. I was so fortunate. I can't even remember who told me I had needed to follow her, but I was so caught up in all the weird, bloody, apparent, YouTube true crime people and thinking this platform's fantastic, but I want good shit. And then someone was like, get over to Rosie's. You will not look back. And I haven't. I will never, ever unsubscribe from Rosie. Like, Rosie was not the first person that I found just entertaining and nice to have on in the background, but one of the first. And I came here for entertainment. Isn't it beautiful, Sav? So pretty. So we just went past the Royal Tasmanian Golf Course, and then now on the right we've got, and you guys don't get to see it, but there's water right there, and there's an oyster farm. And then here on the left is the airport, the Hobart International Airport. Sometimes when you drive along here, you drive under a plane. That's always fun, unless it lands on you. And we are an international airport. We have direct flights to New Zealand and Antarctica. Yeah, our community is very civil, but I like that. And, I used to have a rule that, I used to have a rule on YouTube back when I didn't want to talk about the Fruit Loops of YouTube. And then after a few years, I was like, well, I've been watching all of this shit and I've got opinions on all of it, so fuck it. I'm going to have a channel where I can just offload and give my views on it. But on my other channel, my original Tory one, the one that's stuck in, it's still monetized. I've still got members. I don't know why, because it's not growing. It's just slowly getting smaller, but bless everyone who still supports that channel. But yeah, you are not allowed to diss other creators or me. But I've noticed in the last year, I reckon, even in my lovely communities, that subscribers don't really give a fuck now. They're pretty mean to the creators. And don't get me wrong, some of them deserve it. But all I ask for is just some manners, Just remember you're in somebody's home and behave like you're in somebody's home. When I go into another channel, into their chat, I act like I'm in their home. But there's the social etiquette and pleasantries of days gone by. It's not just YouTube, it's disappearing everywhere. Interesting you say that, Emily, because what I'm going to do is, on the Tasmania Calling, I'm really going to make that, like I did yesterday, I vlogged because I was going to the farmers market and I talked about a campaign we have in Australia at the moment. We've got a referendum next month and I'm volunteering for that campaign. But I'm going to start reacting to Americans reacting to stuff about Tassie, or me just reacting to stuff about Tassie and sort of saying, yeah, that's a really cool place, and then we can choose somewhere to go, and it's going to become very, 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 very Tasmanian. So that's where Tasmania Calling is heading. Because you guys know I love this island so much, and it still holds mysteries that, places for me that I've never been to, even though I've covered so much of the island. There's still so much more to explore. This car just there, down on the verge, was in an accident or possibly stolen. Who knows? But it was sitting on that verge with like police crime scene tape around it. And I suspected they were trying to find the owners or, get a tow truck or whatever. Well, I don't know for sure who did it, but it's possibly, if it was a stolen car and that's where they left it, they've gone back and fucking torched it. It doesn't happen here very often. It's a bit like, I don't know. It's just not a very Tassie thing. But, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Some people will steal a car and take it up into the bush and set fire to it because, they're young and idiots and horrible idiots at that. But, yeah, that car was sitting there for a couple of days and I was thinking, surely the owner's got to organise for it to towed. But then people have gone back there and bloody set it on fire. Like the car, it's gone. It's just a burnt out wreck on the side of the road. That's exciting news from Tasmania. Somebody set fire to an abandoned car on the side of the road. Big news, breaking news. Mind you, I do love that about Tassie, that is the sort of thing that happens and we're all like, oh, someone set fire to a car on the Tasman highway and everyone's like, wow, busy week for the cop. Yes, I said cop, not cops. We do have more than one, but not many. Not many more. I mean, we've got more than 7. But we haven't got 1,000. There's only 500 of it, 500,000 on the island, so high crime area. Yeah, that is the Bronx of Tasmania. Back there. Blink and you miss it. Like, I shit you not, I was out with friends one night and a couple of us, it was time for us to go home. And we rang a taxi and we waited out on the street, which is a pretty standard thing to do here, for the cab to arrive. And we were waiting and we were waiting and we were waiting. And we're like, where the fuck's the cab? And then we noticed up the street some flashing lights like, cops, ambo, fireys, like, there'd obviously been an accident. But it was a fair way away from where we were. Anyway, finally the cab rocks up and we jumped in and he's like, sorry, it took me a while to get here, girls. There's been a bit of a prang up the road. And we were like, oh, yeah, we could see the lights. And he went, yeah, it must be a pretty bad one. Uh-oh, what's that? Jesus. Bit of plyboard or something just flew off that ute in front of me. But he said, oh, yeah, it must have been a pretty bad one. Both of the ambulances are there. I shit you not. It was back in the 80s, but yeah, both of the ambulances. Look out. We've had an accident. 2 cars involved. Big one. Get both the ambulances. Send them out now. Stat. Look at this day. I've got a very rare hour-long lunch break today. I've got all these accrued hours that I need to use, and rather than taking a full day off, although I'm going to submit a couple of full days soon, I just need a proper weekend. And I'm also hoping to go away for a week in October, but I'd love to go away for 2 weeks. But part of my hours that I've accrued, I'm actually using to have 1 hour lunch breaks. I've actually packed a little picnic lunch today, and I'm going to go for it. There's a little park with the rivulet running through it just up the road from our office. But it's just that little bit far that you can't get there and eat your lunch and back in half an hour, but you can in an hour. So I'm going to go and sit up in the sun on the Hobart Rivulet, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's nice even just to be able to go through. Like I'm organising to catch up with a few friends for some of the lunches, but it's also nice to just go for a wander through town and go and look in one of my favourite little shops. And there's always somebody's birthday or something coming up, so I'll head off and buy someone their present. It's really lovely. That crazy Skies cement. So many people comment on the blue, and it's funny. Like I don't take this place for granted, and I know the skies are incredible, but we're also like we're a little island surrounded by water, and we've also got a lot of water. I mean, the Derwent River's straight ahead. There's a lot, and when we just drove over the causeways, but all that water makes the sky blue, and the sky makes the water blue too, bluer. But it's pretty awesome. All right, I won't be able to read chat for a few minutes, but we'll be in the car park soon. But I noticed a comment about Hilly. So in front of us, that's Mount Wellington. So that's actually a big mountain. That if we get snow in winter, it's on the top of that mountain, but usually only for a day or two. We haven't had much snow this year at all. We didn't really have winter this year. We had possibly, I think, you need to count on two hands, but not more than two hands, like cold days. Probably had like 7 that were really cold, like winter cold. A lot of winter has been like it is today. Like all the spring flowers have been out for like 2 months. Autumn was weird. Autumn didn't really happen. Like the trees were sort of like, is this when we change colour? And then a couple of them changed colour, but most of them didn't. Like a lot of plants haven't been dormant over winter. They're all confused. This is the Tasman Bridge that collapsed back in the 70s. I've got to do a live on that. It was insane. But even just this bridge freaks people out with me driving over it because there's no barricades like on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. They're like, how the fuck? You got 5 lanes and no barriers, and you're all just crossing your fingers and toes. You get over it. And then it's weird at the moment because the lane to the right of me normally is a lane going out of Hobart, but for the morning traffic, you can go on that. I do not like being in that lane at all. It's scary. They've got like one little pole every 20 metres that you could easily flatten. And not everyone is used to driving at this hour and knowing there's traffic coming in the wrong direction. I do not like that lane at all. I do not like green eggs and ham. Hey, did SRB pop in? Traffic is flowing well. I love you guys are doing the traffic report. I love this. Honestly, I love this community so much. And we've got like regulars across all channels, but each channel's now attracting new people as well. And I've got to say, like, this little channel's nearly at 100 subscribers, and it's only a couple of weeks old, which I love because I know that there's 100 people that could participate in stuff. Whereas my big well, it used to be big, it was nearly at 2,000. That's big to me. It's now under 1,500. A lot of the subscribers on there probably aren't even on YouTube anymore, but this is like fresh. This channel's fresh. And then the Laws of Crime and Cooking, I'm getting new subscribers there too, and it's really exciting because the people that find us are just like instantly, I like to think, but the comments and stuff that I get, they feel instantly at home because everyone in chat is just so gorgeous and friendly and welcoming and funny. We laugh our fucking heads off in this place. Like, our channels are fun and hilarious. Did I miss SRB? Did SRB just pop in and say hi and then disappear again? Sorry, SRB. So, high risk activity driving and YouTubing, but my camera is my phone is a long way away from my face. I wear glasses, but even reading chat, I can't read lowercase. But some people just enjoy the scenery. So there's another beautiful park to the left, St David's Park. And that's in walking distance of the office for me as well. And that's quite a popular park for people to eat their lunch. But there's also, like, right in the middle of the city, you go down these little laneways, and the old laneways to, like, the carriageways to where the coach houses were. We take your tray tables to the upright position as we land on Pissweek Airlines. Good old Pissweek Airlines. Oh, I'll take you to Constitution Dock one day when I'm not going to work. I have taken us to we just drove past it. It was on the left. I should have pointed it out to you. Did you see boats briefly and water on the left after we came off the bridge and came into the city? On the left it's Constitution Dock. We just drove past it. But because it's peak hour traffic, and it wasn't actually, the traffic's actually not bad today. I don't know what's going on. It's great. Maybe is it school holidays? No, that's in like 3 weeks. I only know that because my neighbour told me, because another neighbour of ours is a teacher, and I said I hadn't seen Colleen for a while, and Jude was like, no, she's flat out with school, but they're on break in 3 weeks. But yeah, Constitution Dock, we did just drive past it. You didn't see it, Sav? Oh well. It's Hobart, man. Blink and you miss it. I mean, it's Beijing. Good old Beijing. Okay, so the only drama on YouTube is that Ziggy has asked her subscribers to help her pay a bill. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful because we've got all the convict-built sandstone buildings that other cities in Australia decided at some point they were going to knock them down. Not all. I mean, there's historic buildings in every city, but we've really preserved a lot of our old architecture, and a lot of the Art Deco stuff is still intact. And like when I lived in Sydney, I used to see them knocking down these deco, because I love deco, buildings, and I'd be absolutely heartbroken. And then they'd build a new building and it would be sort of deco style, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Mind you, you're now seeing one of the less attractive views of Hobart. Yes, it's the back alley with all the bins sitting in a row. We're here, I know. What did that take me? 38, how much? 38 minutes. Well, that Tasmania Calling, I'm just going to start doing lives about Tassie, like contemporary stuff, do some reactions to some Americans reacting, because Americans go nuts on the Tasmanian scenery videos. There's a lesbian couple that did a reaction not that long ago, and I really want to react to them just because they're so joyful and excited about everything. We had an easy drive in. And, I mean, some of you guys on this channel won't know yet where I live, but I live on this amazing surf beach. And it's in this cute little coastal town, and you go through all these beautiful dairy country and all these rolling hills and paddocks and water on one side and countryside on the other. And it's in peak hour, it's 38 minutes out of Hobart. I'd love to take you guys to King Island and Flinders as well, and Maria Island. And have I taken you guys to Bruny Island? I might have. Oh, Emily, yesterday when I was volunteering for the Yes 23 campaign at Brim Creek Market, Farmers Market, I bumped into Greg Irons, the guy that runs Bonarong. And I was telling him about how when I took everyone out to Bonarong and to look at a wombat, and we didn't get to. I said every time I go live trying to show people shit, it's like the Griswolds. And he said, "Let me know next time, and I'll make sure we can get the care out with the wombat for you to show your subscribers." Oh God, what are you talking about, sir? What was terrible? Oh, that's a bee. Hello. What's the sad thing? Oh, you're talking about White Island. Um, is that what you're talking about? Let me see. I can't scroll back down. If you're talking about, yeah, White, yeah, oh, it was horrible. There's a volcanic eruption in New Zealand on an island, and there'd been warnings that something was going to happen, and all these tourists got trapped on. It was all, and the footage from the tourists that had already been on the island or were waiting to disembark to go onto the island, who were just literally stuck in these boats watching it happen. It was horrific. I can't remember how many people died, but it was a significant number and really like young and well, I mean there were old people too, but you know, like families and it was just awful. Yeah, the kangaroos that normally when you feed them they're just like right in your face going, I want to eat all the food right now. But for some reason we get to Bonarong and all the kangaroos just looked at me like, fuck off. I was telling Greg because I used to take people off cruise ships out to Bonarong. That was one of the best. That was my favourite tour. Like this tour company that I worked for, and I was one of the guides. And if I had Bonarong on my list, I was like, bring it on. It was so much fun, and we had so many great days and nights out there. But yeah, I took you all out there for a bit of fun on a sunny Sunday afternoon, and the kangaroos were all just like, "Go fuck yourself." It didn't They didn't give a flying fuck about me at all. Oh, that we don't have active volcanoes. Yeah. No, no, it's just so horrible. Yeah, we don't have active volcanoes. It was fairly recent. Isn't it funny though? Like, honestly, Sav, if we Google it now, it'll probably be like 9 years ago. Like, I can't believe how quickly everything's just flying by. You know, you sort of think, oh, I was saying to someone the other day about something that, oh, yeah, it only happened a few years ago. And then I actually looked at my diary and was like, oh my God, that was in 2017. Like it was 6 years ago. Or you know, on Facebook every now and then they put um, like a couple of years ago, this was the year ABBA came to Australia. And I was like, I went to that concert and it was like 50 years ago. I was like, fuck. The 50-year anniversary of ABBA coming to Tasmania or to Australia. They didn't come to Tassie. I went to Melbourne to see them with my family. But and it was the 50-year anniversary. I was like, how is that possible? But it is. Yeah, White Island was horrible. I don't know what happened either. Like, you know, there was a lot of talk about lawsuits and the tour companies and people ignoring the warnings and 2019. Yeah, ABBA. I've got a signed ticket from that concert, signed by ABBA, all four of them. One of my favourite possessions. I'm not very sentimental, generally, but there are a few things that I keep, and that's one of them. I've also got a signed photo signed by Peter Allen. Hello, Forgotten Whispers. How are you? Yeah, you're beautiful. So when I popped in and saw you, God, you were lovely. When I came in and you were like, "Oh my God, if you is this actually a channel?" Thank you so much because you've brought you've brought some really good people over here. I have been on YouTube for 5 years, so if you're looking at this channel, you're probably like, you've been here for 5 years and you've got 90 subscribers. But I do have a channel that's monetized and had memberships and stuff, and then it just got completely removed from the YouTube algorithm. And then I've got another channel it was my podcast channel, but it's now become my Law of Crime and Cooking channel. And that was at like 280 a couple of months ago, and we're up to about 700 and something. And then this little channel is only like a couple of weeks old. Yeah, because you're a mod for Wispy. I really love that you're live when Australia's awake. It's awesome because so many American creators, Canadian, English, are live when we're all asleep. But you're usually one of the few channels left, and I do pop you on from time to time. I really love your channel and your content too, Forgotten Whispers. We have a lot of fun in here too. I'm really stoked you came in because you were so lovely that day that I popped in and said hello. Like straight away, you were like, "Oh my God, have you got a channel?" It is cool, isn't it, Sav? Because there's not many, and it's funny. There are a few I'm starting to find more Australian creators, but a lot of them I don't want to have anything to do with. They're not like, they're kind of in Australia we have what we call bogans, and they're kind of like a cross between rednecks and hillbillies. More redneck though than hillbilly. And for some reason there's a few Aussie channels and it's like, could you have found a bigger bogan to let them have a YouTube channel? Holy shit. And they're not nice people and I don't want to hang out with them. Oh, you should, Emily. You'd love it. She's great. You had a lot of Aussies in your chat too. It's very smart. You're going to do a channel too, Sav. Awesome. We'll start doing some panels and things too because I really like having people to bounce off. When I did breakfast radio, the best part was having a co-host to bounce off because I think my strength is ad-libbed one-liners that just come out of my filthy mouth. I got described as vulgar. You're a vulgar young because I was my reaction to Armchair Detective taking us all into the toilet. She told me I was vulgar and rude, and I'm like, "What? You don't think it's rude that he took us into his bathroom with him when he took a shit? Like, seriously, I'm the vulgar, rude one? Jesus." But she also didn't like my potty mouth. I was like, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm Australian. I'm convict stock. Like, I fucking swear, when I used to do stand-up, when we were hosting at the start of the night, we'd be like, "Welcome to the show. Great to have you all here. Just a few things before we kick off the show. If anyone is offended by swear words, we highly recommend you fuck off now." I feel like saying that to people on YouTube who call me rude. That's like, change the channel. Like, thank you for taking the time to tell me I'm vulgar. And the irony is, I got called vulgar talking about a middle-aged man off his face, singing away on Small and going into the bathroom, removing his top so we all get to see his man boobs, and then brushing his tooth, and then going into the loo region, and who knows, there's a debate about whether it was a wee or a poo, and hearing the flush, and then the shower gets turned on. The guy is naked, but I'm the vulgar one? Okay. Sure. The AD supporters are so like in love with him. It's ridiculous. They're so besotted. Even when I went on his panel, I didn't go on his panel. He didn't have a panel, but when he put me up on his channel to explain a few things, and I had to be so well behaved because I was trying to protect my friend who he was doxing ruthlessly. Not as bad as Michelle After Dark, but it wasn't good. So I couldn't really tell him I thought he was a wanker. And if I ever show that, people will be like, why didn't you tell him he was a wanker? It's like, because I was trying to get his crowd to stop going after this real life friend of mine. But I've forgotten what I was going to say. Oh yeah, when I was up on his chat were ruthless, like because he doesn't put many people up with him next to him on his channel, and all these women clearly who desperately wanted to sit up there and chatter away with him who haven't, they fucking hated me. And it's like 7 o'clock in Australia. I hadn't even brushed my teeth or my hair. I was braless. I hadn't even had a coffee. I mean, I wasn't exactly presenting myself to him as an option for love. I looked like shit. But just the fact that there was another woman up there next to him chatting away, they hated me. It was quite the experience. I need to find that live and do a reaction to it. um, oh yeah, drop Forgotten Whispers channel for sure. News views. That'd be awesome, Sav. Hey, Sav, I've got another channel with a friend of mine, Finn. We do a show called Batshit. The I is like an exclamation mark. And every week we look at the most batshit stories from around the world. You should come. We're doing our next show's on Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. AEST. A neck billy. Yeah, there's so many good people on YouTube still. Like, unfortunately, all the shitty people make it look like it's just a heap of shit,. But there's so many good people on here. You love my potty. Oh, thank you, SRP. I haven't seen you up on panel yet. I can't wait to. Or have I? No, I don't think I have. I mean, Sav, you spotted me pretty quickly too, because I think I said g'day. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. What the AJ going into the loo? Well, funny's one way to describe it. Only by the grace of God did we not get visually assaulted by anything worse than his moves. I know, because everyone was talking penis and pubes, and I'm like, please, no, no. Thank God he didn't. They are like a cult, and my God, they hated me. Oh no, I'm not friends with her at all. She was doxing my friend. Like, I'm talking full name, address, photos of her grandchildren. No, no, I am not a fan of Michelle or a friend. Never will be. The moves. Oh, thank you, Forgotten Wisdom. Thank you for remembering I'm having a lunch break in the sun. Thank you for popping in. You're gorgeous. She's amazing. It's so lovely to find new people out on YouTube, and it just restores my faith. And you guys were so lovely when I came in. So lovely. Batshit. So yeah, if you type in batshit into the YouTube search bar, but put an exclamation mark for the I and then filter it to a channel, it'll come up. And we move it around a bit because Finn is a FIFO worker, so sometimes it can be Thursday morning, sometimes it's Wednesday night. But it's really good fun. Thank you, Emily. She did dox Karen, yes. It didn't help that my friend's name is Karen either. Yeah, you're an amazing mod, Sav. You honestly, it was such a great experience. You're a lovely Emily too. And this channel is still a teeny weeny one, but if you guys ever come into the law of crime and cooking, we sort of get more like 20 or 30 people popping in. But you'll find they're all like the groovers in here. Just lovely, friendly, reasonable, and fucking hilarious people. And and so many have been with me from day one, which is really special. And, I consider, like, I can't stand it when YouTube people are like, I didn't come here to make friends. I did. I travel the world. I've lived in countries overseas and different states in Australia, and COVID made everybody stuck. But even pre-COVID, like YouTube to me was, I want to have conversations with people in countries where stuff is happening. I want their perspectives. But yeah, poor Karen, I know, right? We are multifaceted. We're very diverse, and we've got, I think the youngest subscriber is a teen male, right through. In fact, one of our mods on the Law of Crime and Cooking, Cody, has been with me from the start, and Cody's now in his 20s, but he was a teenager when he found me. Oh, she did great lives on the. Okay, I will definitely check them out. I know that I really wanted to keep up to speed on that lawsuit, but I did see, and might have even been Forgotten Whispers' headline, but I was like, this has gotten too big for me to catch up, so I'm just going to indulge it from other people's channels. Oh, Samir, yeah, it's pretty special, isn't it? Like, people, when they say, creators say I love you, they don't really. I seriously do love you guys. Like, I came onto YouTube when I was suffering from corporate burnout, which is a very isolating thing to go through. I was, stuck at home, and this is pre-COVID, and very unwell, and just completely burnt out, and kind of relied on the internet for entertainment. And I'd already discovered the world of YouTube lives and stuff, but I much preferred to go to YouTube and hang out with people and have all these live discussions and listen to creators from all around the world than watch some TV show. Like I'm that classic person that sits in, you see like memes or cartoons of people sitting in front of a TV and they're just zoned out. Like that's me in front of a TV, unless it's a documentary or sport. I love watching sport on telly, or one of my favourite sort of shitty reality shows. I get into them too, but I'm also tweeting. I'm trolling Twitter or X when I'm watching them. But for YouTube, it was just fascinating, and just, seeing people's homes and the people that cammed up and all the nutbags and the characters. Like, it was really great. What show is that, SRB? I can do all the reality shows. It's the best switch off after a day of being a lawyer. So many lawyers are hooked on reality shows. It's hilarious. And politicians too. BHB's concerned with 2 videos that didn't even belong to Queen Bee. You played one. Oh, cool. All right. I might listen tonight when I'm driving home. I sincerely love you too. Oh, and I saw your comment earlier about the Tim Minchin autograph. Yeah, I'm onto it. He's my Facebook friend now too, like on his personal account, not his official account. Mm-hmm. He saw that I'm a comedian and he's like, yeah, I'll be mates with her. Aussie, so don't you worry, Emily, I'll get you something from Tim for sure. One Betty lawsuits are insane. No. Oh, Big Brother. Yeah, so that's probably the one that I don't do. But one of my friends has won it twice in Australia. I mean, I met her because of when she won it the first time. That's how we became friends, because I was in media at the time. But yeah, I haven't done Big Brother, but I'm more of the Survivor, Amazing Race, Married at First Sight, My Kitchen Rules, MasterChef. Currently, I'm watching The Traitors, which I'm loving. The new Australian season of The Traitors has been a fucking doozy. It's essentially a house full of absolute idiots and one sociopath. It's brilliant. The court evidence that Wisby got shows 2 videos, and the only thing Queen did on Community Tab was say, hey, go check it out. Not even hers. Why are we surprised? I am friends with Reggie, yeah. She's gorgeous. She's awesome. You live for Big Brother? Look, I seriously, any reality show, I just love them. But they kind of were they were the pre-YouTube thing. Like, I'm not surprised so many people on YouTube love reality shows because before YouTube lives, reality shows were where we've got to see people in their natural habitats or unnatural habitats being themselves. And that's what YouTube is. I did introduce you to Tim Minchin and you fell in love instantly. You did. My sister and I are so excited about that concert. Well, it's not a concert, but that show. Well, it is a concert. He plays the piano. I forgot any mods can add. Yes, and I haven't got many mods on this channel yet because I seriously launched it 2 weeks ago. Tiger Talks had all the betting. Tiger Talks. Huh. We watched Survivor too, but I do that zone. Amazing Race is really good. Do you watch the Aussie? I'll tell you, some of the Australian reality shows that Americans and Poms are hugely into are Bachelor and Bachelorette. People love them because they're insane. Married at First Sight Australia is absolutely epic. Australian Survivors are really good. Australian Amazing Race isn't as good as the American one, in my view, because the Americans are so rude when they're traveling in other countries. Like, I love watching them just being absolute fucking assholes to everyone. Whereas the Australians are really polite and quite switched on because we travel a lot. So they don't get lost a lot. And then they're often like ahead of time. So they're like, there's a pub, let's go and have a beer, which is great. But I like seeing the Americans getting all culturally confused and being so hideous. They're so rude. I mean, I feel sorry for the people, but it just, my eyes are out on sticks that there are people like that. And I've traveled the world, and I've got to say, when I lived in America, I fucking loved it. But my God, American tourists, they're horrible. They're not good anywhere I've been. Whenever there be a drama going on, there'd be an American tourist in the mix. I hate to say it, guys, but honestly, you guys are so amazing and generous and beautiful in your country, but fucking hell, you're not good tourists. Not saying all. I'm sure there's a few good American tourists, but fuck me dead. I've encountered some like Bullhorn Betties, basically all over the world being Bullhorn Betties. It's not good. It's not good at all. And the other thing is, they're always like, I want to go to Starbucks, and you're standing at some sacred site in Kakadu, and there's some American going, how close is the nearest McDonald's? I'm like, are you fucking insane? Or going along the Champs-Élysées in Paris in this beautiful old vintage sort of bus, and there's the Arc de Triomphe ahead of us, and there's this bloody American on the bus who goes, oh my God, look, a Hard Rock Cafe. And everyone was just like, are you fucking insane? We're looking at the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, but you spotted a Hard Rock Cafe. Kill me now. Hello, Margot Waffles. We've just got a minute to pop it. Yeah, I need to put on a bit of a face. Good to see you, Margot Waffles. Okay, well, someone's got to find out this Tiger person's link. Oh no, but the hosts are hilarious, honestly, in the Australian one. I haven't done Bachelor or Bachelorette, but I've got a lot of subscribers in other countries who say they absolutely love the host, like Sophie Monk. She's Australia's favourite bloke, and I fucking love that girl to bits. Maths is priceless. Oh, the new Maths season's got the oldest groom ever. We're going to have octogenarian drama, Sav. I can't wait. Oh, I loved the Osbournes. I actually flicked a chicken carcass over my back fence the other day, and whenever I don't do it very often, but I'd made a stock, and we've got wildlife around our place. I'm like, so, if there's still a little bit of meat or whatever on the chicken carcass over the fence, it goes. But whenever I do it, I think of Ozzy Osbourne throwing the mouldy ham over the fence to the shitty neighbours next door. So I always call whatever I fling over the fence. I'm like, and my neighbours, by the way, it's an empty block, but I'm like, fly free, Aussie. Like I always name whatever it is I'm flinging over. You couldn't get into them? Oh, I do. I love them. Manimal. I have watched Manimal reacts before. Um, it depends with him. I have, because he's also live when Australians are awake. I'm kind of a bit, I'm not fitty, more like 70-30 with him. Like, it depends what he's covering and who's on his panel and stuff. But no, I do know of whom you are speaking. Yeah, I know some of the challenges. Well, in the traders, they get buried alive. Like they put people in coffins and cover them in dirt. And they give them a walkie-talkie. You wouldn't want the batteries to run out. BHB thinks she's been interviewed in Australia. I really need to do a BHB. Another. I can't find my reaction to BHB to put on this channel. I've got to find it. I'm gradually moving all of them over. I've still got to move over Molly Golightly. I've got heaps of me ripping quite a few different people to shreds, but I think I've only done one BHB reaction. I need to get that one over here too. um, yeah, it's not a well. Look, to be honest, cement shoes. When I was in London, I put a Canadian flag on my which was really stupid. But someone had a patch like where I was in the youth hostel. They had a Canadian flag, and I stuck it on my backpack because Australians in London are not great either. The young ones, oh my god, just absolute boozers and embarrassing as fuck. So yeah, I hear you, mate. Your ex-media and federal government, really? It's awesome. We've got a few things in common. Federal government. My dad was a federal politician, and my brother was a state one, and my grandfather and uncle were pollies as well. We're sisters of different misters by the sounds of it, Sav. Interesting. I'm really keen for your channel to happen. I will take issue there. When we rented a car and drove all over Ireland, we saved from tourist shops and got in with the locals 3 tips. I never kissed the bloke. Emily, you would be an incredible traveller wherever you go. That's what I meant. Like not all Americans are shit. To be honest, the best American tourists can't actually afford to travel that often. They're the ones we want exploring the world. It seems to be the cashed up bogan equivalents. In Australia, we have cubs, and they're the what was the term that Forgotten Whispers came up with before? The neckbillies. But in Australia, so our cashed up neckbillies, they are not good tourists either. But in America, I think your equivalent of the cashed up bogans are the ones that travel the most, you know. Put all of them on expensive cruise ships and then we can all just ignore them. That's how I see it. I mean, you go to places like Thailand and they've actually built these sort of, I don't know what the word is. I mean, let's call it an enclave. It's like behind a wall and they've got like beautiful hotels, resorts and McDonald's and all sorts of shit. And they're specifically built so when Americans go to Thailand, they want to stay in these places that have a McDonald's and a Starbucks. And the whole point is for them to be in this sort of area behind a wall so the rest of Thailand and the other tourists can have a lovely time. I'm not joking. And the good Americans will be out and about mingling with everyone and having a ball, but the really sort of mouthy, loud, this isn't as good as America. Those sorts of tourists, they're all in these kind of little communities that the Thai have built to keep them all contained. It's intelligent. Oh, thanks for Tiger Talks. I haven't heard of Tiger Talks. I'm getting excited. Oh my god, I've got to check you out on Panamal. I've got to check you out on Panamal. I've got to check you out on Panamal. I haven't put any makeup on yet. Fuck it. Today I might just wear mascara. I don't think I've got any clients. I don't think I've got any face-to-faces. Oh, this little dude doing the weed killing in our driveway, bless him. Yeah, always do the Anthony Bourdain, the road less travelled when you travel, absolutely. Yeah, I might do another one actually. I mean, it's hard because there's really only, like so many one liners that you can use. And you kind of, the channels that do a lot of the BHB stuff that aren't very creative, that just use the same one liners over and over again. You know, you, there's so much about Betty that you can unpack. And like resorting to critiquing her looks, it's kind of like, why would you bother? Because she gives you so much other content to react to. And I don't think Betty's a bad looking chick. I mean, I'm pretty plain, like there's a lot of people on YouTube that are less attractive than Betty, in my view. But the problem with Betty is she's just rotten to the core. I mean, there's way more attractive people on YouTube too that are vile as well. But I mean, I cam up and I cam up knowing people are going to be criticising my appearance and pausing me while I look like I'm, my head job face and all of that sort of shit. I'm very aware of that. I mean, I'm 56. I'm hardly, it's not like I can even really find a filter that's going to make me look good. This is it. Warts and all. I give no fucks. No fucks do I give. If they're resorting to criticising me for my looks, not because I have a good community and we all have a laugh and look out for each other, then I don't really give a rat's ass about them. That being said, whoever came up with Baby Gap for the glare, but that's more about him in his super tight little t-shirts. And I was perturbed by Born in a Bikini, I'm not going to lie. But you'd be perturbed with me in one too, which is why I'll never go live in a Well, I have gone live in a bikini, but I've had like a dress over it. You're not going to ever have me live poolside going for a quick dip. Yeah, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Thank you for reminding me. I brought a coffee in with me and I haven't even had a sip yet. Oh, you work for a federal senator. What era Bruce Lee have? Without, I suspect it was way past my dad. Oh, I'll ask you this question. Were you in the old Parliament House or the new one? Well, actually, you wouldn't have been in the old because you would have been my age when I was in the old. My dad turned the first sod for the new of soil for the new Parliament House because he was minister for the ACT at the time. That's his claim to fame. There's a little plaque outside the new Parliament House that acknowledges Mickey turning the first sod for the. But God, I love the old Parliament House. It was such a beautiful building. Had more fun there than the new one. By the time the new one happened, I was at uni, but I spent a lot of my childhood running around the halls of the old Parliament House. I could name every single member of Parliament and their electorate and which party they were in, and because that's how we entertained ourselves. We'd look at all the posters in King's Hall and really bizarre shit to do as a kid. It was a weird childhood, I'm not going to lie. I had great opportunities and did some very cool shit, but it was also, we were subject to a lot of abuse from the public, which was always fun. Thanks, Dad, for thrusting your entire family into the public eye. But yeah, poly kids, it's interesting. Like when you meet other kids that sort of have politician parents, it's one or the other or both. It's a very bizarre little club to be in. Yeah, just chuck in A at the end of everything. Good idea. Yes, I know my whole family. It is. It is. Thunder. Na, 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 na. So I came up with the ACDC name quite a few years ago, and my channel now, which is called Tasmania Calling, at one point was called Tori and the ACDC. And then I realised I needed to put all my Kramer, because I don't like the word Kramer, but I talk about all the creators and stuff because I've been watching them for 5 years and I have opinions. And I was like, shit, I need to move all of this because I had it on my other channel where I do crime and I want to be taken a tiny bit more seriously. Like it's still a fun channel, but and then I found I still had this channel. I had the logo and stuff. I must have set up like a little second channel because back in the day when you came to YouTube, everyone was like, make sure you've got a little backup channel just in case you get struck. But I'd never used it. So it was very easy to just go, all right, bang, here we go again. ACDC is back. Rock. It was deliberate too. It's the little Aussie connection. Have I heard of the Preference Whisperer? No, I haven't. But I shall Google the Preference Whisperer. No, I haven't. Yeah, we love a bit of Akadaka. Oh God, you guys are miles behind. I'm at work pretty well. I'm not. I don't work in a car park, but I'm at the car park near work. Yeah, you got to get off the. You got to go. You've got to find where the locals are, and you've got to go into restaurants that there's no English on the menu. That's where you go when you travel. Yeah, Thunderstruck's wicked. Oh, BHB is incredibly abrasive and delusional. You guys have cheered me up so much because I hate Mondays. I don't hate anything. You know that. The only thing I hate is hate. But this Monday was brutal when I woke up. I was like, oh, do you not? My friend sent me a message going, happy Monday. And I was like, you haven't worked for 25 years. Don't you ever, I know it came from a good place, but don't you ever wish me a happy Monday again? I'm not even out of bed yet and I don't want to get out of bed. I'll get back at the bikini chat. So good to see you, my girl Waffles. 2016 Federal New Parliament House. There you go. Oh, you're a 70s baby. God almighty, you look like you're a 90s baby. Your little glamazon. Akadaka's awesome. They're so good. Yeah, the old Parliament House is gorgeous. It's my favourite Akadaka song too. I haven't actually heard of Glenn Drury. I will do some research. Oh yeah, we do a lot of music too. I play a lot of Aussie music on my. You've only been to one concert, Prince in Holland in '86. Well, that's if you're going to only ever have been to one concert, that's the one. Holy shit! I didn't get to see Prince. I was really bummed I didn't get to see Oasis, but then I got to see Noel Gallagher, and he played all the Oasis shit, and it was as good as, in my view. I do a lot of music. I used to go to music festivals twice a year, and I did the UK. I went to all the UK music festivals one year. She's on the road to nowhere, Talking Heads. Now that song's going to be stuck in my head all day. She's on the road to nowhere. I'd really struggle to say what my favourite concert was because I've seen so many incredibly good ones. The Killers are amazing live. The Cure, unbelievable. Jamiroquai, so much fun. Coldplay, even people who can't stand Coldplay, their concerts are so fucking good that at the end of it, people are like, I only came here because my wife loves them. Holy shit, they were good. Robbie Williams is great live back in the day. Last concert you went to was Delta Goodrem for free in Sydney. The last concert I went to was here, not that long ago. I went and saw Passenger, who I love. He finally got to come to Australia and do all of the shows that we'd bought tickets for before the COVID year. But I've also seen 1927. They were great, actually. Australians in the chat. 1927. If they come to your town, go and see them. You'll love it. It's just like 80s heaven. all over again. And he's such a good singer still. I put Scout Inquirer, who is part of our community, onto 1927, and she loves them. She drives around New York City blaring 1927. And Emily's totally into Tim Minchin. You're on the guest list. Very nice, Sav. You move in high places. If you Google Tasmania's premier 2 premiers ago, that's my bro. Yeah, moving pictures are awesome. You turned 50. My God, I can't believe that. You're a baby. Although that kind of, I mean, welcome to the thrifty 50s, isn't it? Doesn't it? It's like, welcome to the dirty 30s, welcome to the naughty 40s. And then you get to 50, and I was like, the shifty 50s, the nifty 50s, the thrifty 50s. So I went with nifty. I would have never thought you were 6 years younger than me. But then now that you've said that you turned 50, that totally explains your demeanor and personality and your heart and all of that sort of stuff. It totally makes, because I must admit, I was like, this young girl is so in tune. Like she's wise beyond her years. Cheese 69 whispers Prince, I officially hate you. Hi, Cheese. I think you've come from Whispers' beautiful community too, haven't you? Yeah, I don't anymore. I spent 50. When did Will retire? 2000 and, oh, he retired right before COVID arrived. Well, his timing was impeccable. 2020. 2020 was the first year in my life there wasn't one of my family members in Parliament from when I was born. 53 fucking years, Sav. There has been a member of in my life I've had a member, at least one, sometimes two, or even at 1.3 at the same time in Parliament. Since 1895, my family has been in Parliament. It's fucking insane. Insane. They used to call us the Kennedys of Tasmania, which was like, thank you, except none of us are glamorous and we don't have any money, but thank you. Or they used to call us a dynasty. And when the TV show Dynasty came out, I was like, oh my God, I can't live here. I've got to leave. I've got to move to the moon. We're absolutely ridiculous, my family, insane. And then I had people yesterday telling me to run as an independent at the next election. I'm like, please don't. I just can't. Let my family name disappear off the timeline for a while. Oh, are you? Yeah, we've been covering it on ours too, but I played the original interview with Bruce the other day because I wanted to play both parts for the bloody Channel 7 interview with Liam. It's so fucking good. And the live was amazing. The live was so good. Hey, I've never belonged to any political party. Don't do that. You should know, of all people, not to do that. I've spent my life copying shit for that. I've never belonged to any political party. Thank you very much. Oh, you mean Teal is an independent? Sorry, I thought you were going down the knowing my family background and labelling me with them because it is another blue. My brain's now heading into work mode. It's lovely to have you here, Cheese. Cheese 69. Were you born in 69 or are you just being rude and cheeky? I'm not going to go anything, Sav. I like being a part-time community lawyer and YouTuber. Yeah, I never got to see Prince. I would have loved to have seen Prince. But one year during Dark Mofo, the raves that they have during Dark Mofo, the year that he died, they had like 100 Prince drag queens, and it was basically 20 hours of not just his stuff, but all the songs that he'd written for other people. It was fucking fantastic. The Purple Rain dance went for 20 hours. Bloody good year. My brother was born in 69 as well. So I already like your cheese, but I also love cheese. So, he can be rude and cheeky. Oh, poor Emily with her disappearing chat. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Grooves. On this teeny weeny channel. Do you know what I love about this channel is not many people know about us yet. I like little channels. I'm such a fan of the small channels. Because how many channels that start out small and then they suddenly become huge, and how quickly they turn into absolute fucking wankers. We see it all the time. It's almost like overnight. They just become absolutely hideous. But the extreme vanity. So yeah, the channels that have managed to grow and then still remain humble, I like. But I love the little channels, because the little channels, you feel like you're hanging out around someone's dining room table. Like it's more intimate and fun. And then as people find us, it seems to always be the same kind of people. Adore is your all-time favourite song. Well, I'm going to be listening to Forgotten Whispers talking BHB driving home. But yeah, the Bruce Laram and Brittany Higgins, I've got very firm opinions on that. And I was doing a reaction and I got bloody struck midstream. Copyright takedown. Which sucks because it's so good. The interview is so good. Both parts are so good. So yeah, I've done, I think maybe one live on it at the moment. It's Brittany Higgins, Bruce Larriman, and the missing presumption of innocence. And it's just such a doozy of a case. And now the prosecutor is suing. It's just fucking insane. The Sofronoff report, he's suing because of that. It never ends. Yeah, I was radio media. But the Higgins Larriman, I'd love us to do a panel on that, because everyone was so getting into it, and then boom, copyright takedown. But hopefully, I'll work out a way to still do it without it. But the interview is crucial. Yeah, it's a big report. But I have to go. I have to go and help people with legal issues. Fuck 'em, I'd rather sit in the car park all day. No, I wouldn't. Cut the interviews up. Okay, yeah, I didn't transform it at all. Other than stopping and starting and going, fair use, motherfuckers. I need to do some transformation. Indeed. But I adore all of you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a great Monday if you're in the future. And if you're still on your weekend, make the most of it, because we all envy you. And I will see you all again very soon. Chuck on some Akadaka. Thunder. No, 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 no. All right, I'm out of here. I got to go and be, serious. It sucks, doesn't it, SAB? Maybe one day I'll just be like, actually, let's call in sick. And then I'll just go live from my car all day looking over at the building where I work. Maybe not. I'll see you all very soon, beautifuls. And yes, thank you all for joining our flight to Beijing on Pissweek Airlines. Now get off my fucking plane.